And we should now be live. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to make sure the volume is turned up. Going to make sure everything is set up on OBS correctly. It is. Going to make sure the stream is happy. It tells me that it is. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to the usual Sunday stream. How are you all doing? Hello, Lorenzen, King Giga, Kairu, Rob, and the rest of you. Hello. How are you all? Don't forget to like the stream and also say hello in chat if you're here. And yeah, today we're just today's plan is I'm just going to do some like really chilled out decorative work. Just to also gives us an opportunity to like chat, and chill out, talk, and just do some really light decorative stuff. So that's the plan for today. So yeah, how are we all doing? How has your Sundays been? Might be a bit deeper than I wanted for that. I didn't want it that deep. 3, I think 3 is acceptable depth. Yeah. There we go. You have news, Rob. All mods from Kai work fine for you now. Good to hear, Rob. I have removed Kai Adenic's expanded scenery mod. Obviously because of all the problems we had last stream. I did send him a message suggesting or asking to see if he could do a version with just the flowers, or to find a way of making the flowers as a separate mod, but he didn't respond. I guess he's probably quite busy. But yeah, I'm glad you're able to get his other ones generally working. That'll do, I think. Hello, Monster. I'm doing good. You went to the Eiffeling? Efteling? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Berenzen. Ah, you have a fear of roller coasters. Nerd Guy Productions, the guy I do the movie reviews with, he is a big roller coaster fan. I'm not a great roller coaster person, so I know how you feel, Berenzen. Trying to get Megalopolis done on Mega Aquarium. It's a mission I've been stuck in. Ah! I haven't played that game in a while, Kairu. Might have to do some soon. Yes, indeed. Expanded utility and tours work well. As you can see, we have his boat right here. I think out of the boat rides I've seen introduced in mods, this one I think is the best. Like, I think the boat itself is really well done. I think the actual boat, like, dock is really well done. Like, it's just the best one of all of the mods. Right. What fencing did I use around the waterfall over here? I used wooden cable. So I need not that one. That one, log wire. There we go. It's not great, but it'll do. It'll do. You went to the zoo today, Rob? Oh, nice. Which particular zoo did you go to? Wanted good. Berlin Zoo. Wow. Panda bears. I want to go to a few more zoos that are around this country. I know that zoos are very much seen as sort of controversial these days. But as far as I'm concerned, British zoos do a really good job. And I think they're really necessary. You know, as much as animal conservation groups like to slag off the existence of zoos and animal parks, they're like, how else are you going to protect these animals? Because protecting their environments aren't working. Like, we've been trying to protect the Amazon rainforest for decades now, and it's still being cut down at an extraordinary rate. So, sooner or later, these zoos are going to be the only place where these animals are protected. So, as far as I'm concerned, as long as the zoo is doing, you know, a good pucker job at looking after these animals, I think they should be, you know, given a bit of leeway, frankly. That's my thoughts about it, anyway. Yeah, Kairu, like most of the zoos in this country help with animal conservation. They're part of animal conservation programs. They do overseas work, protecting environments, etc. So, Joanna, yeah, I mean, one thing I would say about the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer is that as much as I don't like the mutant, and as much as the film isn't really buttering my parsnips, I think being able to have that Titanosaurus in-game will actually have a Spinosaurus that looks decent. The Quetz redesign gives me some hope that the next game's Quetz will be better than the current one. Where the hell is Spinosaurus? There it is. But I have absolutely no interest in having that mutant in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Not to mention, like, if it's a mutant, it's an accident. So how does that even work with Jurassic World Evolution? Like, oh, we've deliberately bred an accident. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I have no interest in having the mutant in my game, but the Titanosaur and the Quetz, and the Spino. Obviously, the Spino redesign is probably the one thing I'm most looking forward to, actually. Right, let's get some plants in here. It's hard to say much about Evolution 3 until Frontier gives us that trailer. Yeah. And I'll be honest, the longer we go without a trailer, the more convinced I am it's not coming out in July. Just simply because of the amount of time they need to have to hype the game. Like, we're already, what? Halfway through February now. If we don't get a trailer before the end of February, that gives March and April, May and June. Just 4 months to do all the hype stuff for the game. That's a lot less than Jurassic World Evolution 1 or Jurassic World Evolution 2's hype periods. So I think the more time we go without a trailer, the more chances are that the game is not going to release alongside the film. Not, you know, in the same month as the film. I reckon maybe a month or two afterwards. Which, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that if they, you know, do something with that time. I mean, they've released a lot of their other games in November, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do wait. I mean, like I said, I doubt the film. Like, if they're releasing the film in July, it's unlikely that this game will launch straight away next to it anyway, because they don't want to spoil stuff in the movie for people that haven't seen it straight away. So I could really see it being a month or so behind anyway. And these days, I would rather games be launched when they're ready and not rushed out the door. And in fact, that's one of my takeaways, I think, so far from this the review I'm doing. I really feel that Jurassic World Evolution 2 would have benefited from having a delayed launch. Just to sort out some of those bugs. So I think the bugs are the... It's hard to say, because obviously people have differing levels of tolerance towards bugs in video games. Some people can be really tolerant, some people are really not tolerant. And for me, I can't help but think that if they had just delayed Evolution's launch by the length of time between Evolution 2 and the film coming out, that the game would have come out in a much better state, and the responses to it would have been a lot better than what they were. I can't help but feel with this game that Frontier has phoned in a lot of the sort of the general good-naturedness of the fan base. I feel like they phoned a lot of that in for an immediate rush of sales, and I have a suspicion that's not going to work next time. I mean, it's not going to work with me. Keeping an eye on the chat as I go. I kind of want to have this one here. I can't see where the water line is. That'll do. Since we're on the subject of the films and Rebirth and stuff, who has seen Evo's latest video talking about her reasons for not necessarily being a fan of the mutants? I'm just curious who's actually seen that video yet. You have one, Chuffrog. Well, here's a little behind the scenes thing for you. Stuart is based on something I spoke to Evo about. I showed Evo a conversation I was having with a person called Stuart on Facebook, who was the person that turned round to me and said that Michael Crichton would have loved the idea of the mutant because it's what he always wanted, and that I should read the books and blah blah blah. Stuart is based. She decided to use the name Stuart after she saw that conversation I was having with someone. So that's why the person is called Stuart. She saw the messages I had sent her about what he was saying to me, and she was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'm going to use Stuart as the name of the individual now." Indeed, that is where. Well, it's where at least naming him Stuart came from. I think that's quite enough vegetation around here, if I'm honest. I think this is pretty decent as is. So I'm going to put in some ground textures underneath. Lovely. I think one thing we are going to need is perhaps some lighting of some description. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, don't be a Stuart. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and it's okay if you disagree. That's fine. Have a good-natured discussion in comment sections. That's okay. Unfortunately, this mutant seems to be stimulating a part of the community that seems to want to hyper-defend said mutant to the point where they are becoming quite rude and quite belligerent about it. Actually, it creates a really nice effect. I really like that. The mutant is a very controversial topic, Kairu. I do agree with you there. I think it's I think in some respects it's even more controversial than the hybrids were. For good reason, I think. Um, yeah, the fact that it doesn't look anything like a actual animal, I think, is the biggest problem with it. And I think that's probably why I was more happy with the hybrids than I am this one. Because at least the hybrids looked like a animal. Yeah, they had hugely exaggerated features and the rest of it. But they broadly looked like very broadly looked like an actual dinosaur. Hello, Dravid dude. Welcome to the stream. lines up about there. I'm not really happy with that. What if we did this instead? Let's put them about that high. Let's see if these are the same heights. They are not. So that would be about there. No, I don't hate it. Hello, Joe. It does look like an Elcor monster. You are completely correct there. I mean, I suppose that's my biggest problem with that mutant. Is that it just looks so painfully generic. Like, they had no better idea than to copy Alien and Star Wars. That it just shows a complete lack of any sort of inspiration at all. And I think that's the worst element of it for me, is how uninspiring it is. And what I don't get is how have they been able to come up with something so uninspiring? With all these writers and with all these people involved in this, all they could come up with was that? Like, what the hell? You could go on DeviantArt and look up hybrids, dinosaur hybrids, or D&D monsters, and find so many other more interesting looking things than that. Don't get how they could come up with something so boring. Obviously, fear and fear factor is all subjective. It's very personal to the individual. What someone finds scary, the other person won't. But I don't find anything about that creature scary. In fact, it just kind of makes me want to laugh at it because it's so clearly, obviously, a rancor. Like, it's so obviously a rancor that it's funny. Yeah, you'll find a lot of AI slop Dino Man on DeviantArt. It's one of the reasons why I don't really use DeviantArt anymore, actually. I used to use DeviantArt as a place to put all my nice screenshots of games on. As you'll see by... or I used to have a thing for it on the stream. But it's become such a nightmare of AI-created content that I don't really like it anymore. But I don't really know what website to use instead. It's one of those, like, I kind of don't know what website to use instead of it. Because I want to get back to writing my fan fictions and stuff, but I don't know where to put them. It's going to have to be something I look into, I think. Okay, yeah, I'm a bit more happy about this now. I'm not going to log wall off the entrance there. I'm going to do it from here to here. Same thing here, so from there I'm going to say about there. We're going to give it a little bit of an opening and then go to there. I really would like a perimeter fence here. I don't think there's room enough to fit one in. Might be. No. What? How is that outside the buildable area? How is that outside the buildable area? Can someone explain that to me? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat a little bit. How long do you reckon that is? About that long. Praise be for Kyogenic, honestly. Excellent. Kai, if you're listening, I want to marry you and have your babies. That much of an important for this game. Yeah, herbivores are very overrated. Again, I feel like that was something that the original movies did better, is that every animal felt potentially dangerous. Like in Jurassic Park, like they hid from the Gallimimus stampede. The Lost World showed that, you know, the Parasaurolophus could lift people up, the Pachycephalosaurus could smash someone through a car. I mean, there was the scene where they trashed the InGen camp, obviously. In Jurassic Park 3, you had the dangerous stampede of the Parasaurolophus and Corythosaurus that almost kills a few people. I feel like the older movies definitely were able to make every animal potentially threatening, whereas obviously the newer films are very restricted to, oh no, it's a raptor, or oh no, it's a Giganotosaurus, or oh no, it's, you know, whatever random other carnivore they want to introduce. Completely forgetting that a majority of herbivores could cause serious damage. You know. Yeah, the angry Stegosaurus parents, yeah. I mean, one of the first videos I'm going to make once the retrospective is completed is a video trying to come up with some sort of kind of an investigate. Well, I say investigation, kind of a thought experiment about, you know, why are dinosaurs no longer enough? And try and figure out some sort of genuine basis for reasoning, I suppose. Like, try to figure out what exactly is it that seems to be so wrong with just having a dinosaur in your movie now. I want to have one of these lights in each corner. Shining on whatever we put in there. Do I want to put Spinosaurus in here again? Because we got a Spino there. Maybe for this one we'll go with the skeleton instead. I do want to drop the skeleton down though, just to hide some of the... That'll do. Yeah, Dino Man, those are a lot of good questions. You know, why do we have so many types of raptor in the game now? In the franchise now. Those are all very, very good questions. We have dinosaurs now, what can we do with them? Yeah, see, for me, the monster, that seems to be the obvious question that they should have had when they were making Dominion. They should have started with the question, we have the dinosaurs in the real world now, what can we do with that? That seems to be the obvious first step, as far as I'm concerned. Because there's lots you can do. It's a really good premise. I mean, hell, that was the problem. That was the problem that we even had back in Jurassic Park 3. Like, if you read the Jurassic Park 3 reviews that were made at the time, most of the folks who were reviewing it, for like the newspapers and stuff, their main criticism was, oh, they had to go back to the island. You know, it's just, it's not really evolving. And then with Dominion, they had this wonderful opportunity to take advantage of that fact and be like, right, what story can we tell now that the dinosaurs are on the mainland? And they wanted to tell a story that had nothing to do with them. Seems a bit bizarre. You went through all the effort in Fallen Kingdom to get the animals onto the mainland, and then you don't do anything with it. What was the point of Fallen Kingdom? No one, like, loads of people hated Fallen Kingdom. You used up a lot of people's respect for the franchise with Fallen Kingdom, The least you could have done was actually prove that you had a purpose to it. But it's like they didn't. It actually... This is going to be quite long-winded, and most people might not get the humour. But it reminds me of a joke in one of my favourite comedy TV shows, where they're having a political election. And one of the entrants for the political election is this really over-the-top purple-haired guy in a dress and stuff. He's obviously part of like a monster raving loony party-esque party. And the commentator is talking to him about his policies, which include the abolition of slavery and compulsory bedtimes and stuff like that. And then the commentator asks him, a lot of people would respect your stances on the abolition of slavery, but what about this unusual policy of compulsory asparagus eating? And he turns around and says, oh, don't worry about that, we just put it in there as a joke. And that's kind of what I feel like. That's what I feel about Dominion and this mutant. I feel like they're just fucking with us at this point. Because it seems like a joke. Oh, I really hope that dinosaur hybrids don't become a thing. That will be the day the franchise dies. Is when they decide to put hybrids of humans and dinosaurs into it. That will be the day I officially go, yeah, I don't want to be... I'm not bothering with this franchise anymore. I hate it. What I want to actually do in this one is I want to have some examples of other animals that were around with Spino. So I believe that is a Rhinoceros. So let's just put I want to put just like make a sort of display with some rhinos. A human hybrid army versus a raptor army. This is the way the franchise will go. Oh god, no. Don't give them ideas. Do not give them ideas like that. That's dangerous. Oh, hello, Evolution Square. We were just talking about you. No, well, I mentioned you earlier on. Fletcher, don't forget these nice pergolas for the plaza. They look so sexy. Yeah, I will put a few in when we put the seating areas in, so yeah. Just explaining where Stuart came from, Evolution. There are no more dinosaurs to put in this park, Kyrie. All the animals are in here. Like, the last animals we put in was for the boat trip. We are literally just decorating today. That's literally all that needs to be done in this park, is the decoration job. That's what we are doing today. Ah, yes, Stuart. Oh, dinosaurs in space for the next movie. don't. I'm sure fine, was it Fast and Furious will get to there eventually. You know, I'm pretty sure we can use some of these speakers. Where are the speakers? They're the J-pop speakers. Where are they? Sure, I can put some down here. As long as they're close enough to the tall building, I think they will actually work. Assuming this has a speaker thing. It might not. You've got to wonder what they're going to do for the next one. Yeah. I was just saying to the folks here, Evo, that it feels like they're almost having a deliberate joke with us. Because it seems like they're just going all overboard with trying to do as much crazy stuff as possible. It's like they're trying to be in on the joke. Then again, maybe Universal's directors or whoever deals with, you know, what movies to make and what not to make, maybe they honestly do believe that line that Claire Dearing gave in Jurassic World, that no one's interested in a dinosaur anymore. Different colors in here, I think. Considering how many people absolutely adore the mutant, they're making movies for those people. Yeah, monster movies for monster fans. Yeah. Which is kind of strange when you think one of the major criticisms of this game is that it seems to be created with the idea of general dinosaur fans as opposed to park management game fans. So, like, this game is built for dinosaur fans, but the movies are being built for monster fans. I don't think they've quite figured out what exactly it is they want. They want what Godzilla has, but they don't want to make a new franchise to do it with. And... yeah. Okay. I think that's good. Right. Let's decide on the lighting colors. Humans are always the real monsters, Rob. Oh, that's, no! I pressed the wrong button. I want that to be red. This one to be blue. This one to be green. And... back one to be black. Yeah. Oh, the colours for this. I think we'll leave them as they are, actually. I think that's fine. Maybe make these green? Yeah. Actually, let's change the colour here. I want these ones a bit more of a cool blue. These ones a bit more of a yellow. Yeah, I think that's better. Always got to be the optimist. Yeah, I mean, I really like this in the Titanosaur. I think if we can say anything about Jurassic World Evolution 3 now, is that when those rebirth animals are finally added to the game on launch, I don't think so. If the game is launching exactly with the movie, I don't think so. But whenever those are eventually added, the Titanosaurus will be a good sauropod at last. The Quetzalcoatlus will at least be more correctly sized, and the Spinosaurus will be a little more realistic to the real one. So we'll have a few nice additions for this game. That is, I suppose, at least one good thing. And you know, as I know, I have this almost a meme-like reputation. Yeah, in my optimism era, I have this meme-like reputation for being overly critical about everything, which I accept. You know, I can be extraordinarily critical, and I own that. Frankly, I would rather be overwhelmingly critical and be surprised than be persistently disappointed. I suppose that's the way I've always managed myself. Like when I was doing my exams, I went in with every single exam expecting to fail. I never went into an exam trying to feel confident because I didn't want to feel overconfident. I always wanted to feel like I had to really be careful. And I think that's just the way I kind of go through sort of life, is a degree of cynicism. Yeah, I agree with you, Evolution Square. I was actually talking about this earlier. I don't think they have enough time now to build the hype. So I don't think it will be coming out in July. And I think if you're reasonable as well, you wouldn't even want it. If you're Universal, you don't want the game that may spoil aspects of the movie coming out on time with the film, because then people are going to play the game and be spoiled about the movie. You want to give people a chance to see the film. So I think it makes sense, even from that perspective, that the game would come out necessarily after the movie. That's my logical brain thinking about it there. Universal are well known for being completely illogical. But I think it makes sense for the film not to be coming out, for the game not to be coming out soon. I kind of like the idea of having more substantial tables. Where are the posh ones? I mean, it kind of does that kind of work. It's tight, but I think it works. Some posh tables here. I'm actually going to alter these buildings because I haven't done so. I thought I did. Oh no, I did for that one. I haven't for this one. Wood, concrete, wood with stairs. We'll go for small Jurassic World. We'll have the opening there. I want the tables and chairs because the whole point of this is that you're sitting in here and you're able to see the Spinosaurus over the way. Use the height there. I believe they can, just about. Actually, I think we'll go with the other one. That one. We'll put more tables and chairs out the front here. And we'll make this more than just juice. Honestly, these amenities, I like the idea. Like the amenity. Yeah, exactly, Evo. It's getting really late for for the marketing purposes, unless they're going to rush through it. But then I almost kind of feel if they're going to rush it, that maybe they suspect... I'm always a little suspicious if a video game company rushes its marketing, because that tells me they're not 100% confident that everything in the game is worth showing off. I agree, Berenson, there's no reason to hide it anymore. I mean, yeah, as I was saying about these amenities, like, I love the amenity modification system. Out of every aspect of Jurassic World Evolution 2, this, for me, shows that there is at least one person at Frontier that knows what they're doing and has good ideas. But the only thing I think that's wrong with it is this very deluded idea that you have a building that only does a burger and doesn't do drinks, or you only have a building that sells t-shirts but doesn't sell books, or you only have a drink building that only serves hot chocolate, no other drink, just hot chocolate. It's very, very weird. Like, it's weird enough that they don't have bathrooms in. Sounds like capitalism to me. So yeah, like you have like the burger restaurant, and then you have the chips restaurant, and then you have the drink place next door to get the drink. And you have to go through each shop to have a full meal. Sounds like Disney. Yes. This is supposed to be a drinks building, though, isn't it? I mean, I suppose the soda can is... I had the bubble tea. Also, having recently watched all of Squid Game with my buddy Nerd Guy, some of these color patterns and stuff are reminding me of that. Okay, so we got some, you know, a nice posh seating area here, as thanks to Kyodenic. Honestly, Kyodenic, make your own game, please. I used to dabble in a bit of map design when I was at school. If you want a map designer. There's this weird gap here. Okay, so we've got our boat tour and... I'm just having a look at this layout here. I'm okay with this bit. And I'm okay with this gap here, although I do think it's a little empty. Flags? Maybe flags? Okay, flags would be a little bit... I wish that we had these two elements. I wish they were separate to one another. I really could see a lot of places where I just want a single concrete pillar with a flag hanging from it. Because that's just too... That's too much. It's too much like that. These I feel are just not enough. Oh, Lisbon is supposed to be really beautiful. So me and Dane are actually going on my first ever flight soon. We're going We're taking the overnight train to Inverness in Scotland, and then we're flying back so I can have my first ever flight on a plane, because I've never been. And kind of looking forward to it. Also kind of terrified, but I am also looking forward to it. But I do want to, you know, be nice to also go, once I'm a bit more used to flying, go around places in Europe. Like, as a history teacher, I kind of feel I really need to. I can't really call myself a good history teacher otherwise, I don't think. Bins? Ah, bins. I still can't get over the way they implemented the benches in this game. It's like... Rome is top tier, I bet it is. I do love myself a bit of Roman history. I wish they taught it more at schools. But no, as I was saying, like, I love how they implemented the benches in this game, because it's like, it shows that Frontier has absolutely no clue about why it was we were asking for them. All they saw on their forums was, oh, people are asking for benches. And they didn't quite make the leap into understanding why. They just, like... I can imagine the massive amounts of confusion that people at Frontier must have had on their faces looking at all the requests for benches. And they were like, why do people just want a bench? Like, why are they wanting just a bench? And so they put it in with absolutely no comprehension about what it actually was that we were asking for. Which wasn't the benches. What we were asking for were the guests to interact with things in the park. They just couldn't figure it out. Sometimes I feel like Frontier is that kid in a classroom who really, really tries, but always gives the wrong answer. And so you always respect the fact that they're really, really trying. But at the back of your mind, there's the little voice that's telling you as a teacher, my God, this person is thick. And I know that's bad, but I can tell you now, after having been in many a staff room, that is exactly what teachers do and say and think. I have never heard this, you know, teachers being as awful about their students as I have heard them be in staff rooms. Oh, low health. Oh, shall we play the what animal is it this time game? Shall we assume that it's the Thanatos Draken that's stuck again? I'm gonna guess that the Thanatos Draken is stuck in the middle of a dive, like it was last time. Shall we see? Oh, it's definitely a pterosaur. Oh, it's a Topuxura. And the Topuxura is... Is it stuck sitting down? I've never had this before. It's actually stuck sitting down. How random is that? Let's just move it and see what happens. There we go. How weird. I admire his commitment to sleep. Oh. I laugh, but it's not acceptable. Okay? I have many criticisms about this game, many of which you guys will hear when the retrospective comes out. But there are things that I think are worse than others. The bugginess of the animals, especially the pterosaurs, is not acceptable. Like, the basic premise of this game is that we're looking after animals. The one thing this game should do is make sure that animals are reliable. And for God's sake... I think we've all had the moment in the morning when you gotta pee, but you don't want to get up. But that's why you get rubber sheeting. Joke. I'm sorry, I don't know where that one came from. That's a horrible, horrible joke. Is that what rubber sheets are for? Oh, Evo. Ugh, you innocent creature. Oh, just gonna have a slab of pineapple juice. Let's not go there, Robert, shall we? Let's not. Okay. I think that's better now. I don't want any, like, posh seating near the bathroom. I just think that's a little weird. Do you want to have a water feature here, though? I think water features... Oh, well, you live in Berlin. Oh, well, that explains everything, Rob. I want to kind of have a couple of water features just here. Just want some movement. Like, that's another thing I don't think I've mentioned. I think I mentioned it in my retrospective review once. But, a water feature next to a possible queue by the bathroom is evil. I mean, it would be even more evil if we could make it that people had to pay to use the bathrooms, like we used to be able to in JPOG. But alas, we're not allowed to. I do find it very interesting. Right. So, is this a disabled toilet access? It can't be, can it? Because that's clearly not a door. There's clearly a metal bar there. So that is still the... Why would they put that on the side of the building? Because I would think that's the door. Because I'm, you know, thick. What a weird... Yeah, how weird. Bizarre. Anyway. Let's... I almost wonder if we should change this fencing here to taller fencing, because obviously these are going to be people that are going off to the water ride, so I feel like we could kind of do with dividing off this area. So let's see if we go with the Roman fortifications. Let's see. How does that work? I think that's a bit much, if I'm honest. Hedgerow? You know, I don't dislike the hedgerow being there. I think it's enough of a divide without it being overwhelming. And you know, if we put a few trees and stuff in there, that'll be fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Reminds me when I went to a random Swedish theme park and they had decorative water fountains in the bathroom. That really is cruel, Smaug. I wonder if we should maybe put something along this edge here. Yeah, I kind of want something along this edge here. Doesn't have to be much. Yeah, a little happier with that now. Okay, so we really need to have those flags here somewhere. The Tyrannosaurus is being tortured, yeah. Okay. That I didn't consider. See, they've got a good enough view over there from here. These guys, their view would be not so good. I'm gonna have to delete that. Oh, you. Individual from Babylon. Okay, so instead, let's just do the command boxes. And then let's put in some... How tall are these? Damn, they're too tall as well. Actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. It's a little one. There we go. And then if we switch these from the flaming pillars... I don't want too many pillars, then it'll look like, you know, the Chaos Space Marines are around. Let's go with the seating instead. There we go. We'll make this an actual restaurant selling burgers. I actually prefer the inside view through the windows of the burger restaurant. I think it just looks a bit more like an actual restaurant. Yeah, that's better. And they now have a good view over there. I want something here on the corner. Flag. I think flag. Ooh, I know what our actual hotel needs. Our actual hotel needs a proper flag. There are the flags. There they are. Maybe we could just have them up on the towers here. Yeah. I think it works. Oh. What's happened now? Thanatos Dracon. Oh, look. There we go. Classic. There we go. You know that bug has been fixed according to Frontier's update and patch notes like 4 times. I say fixed. Fixed in inverted commas. Fixed in the way that, you know, firebombing Dresden fixed the rat problem it had. Okay. Oh, right, we got the nice seating here. This is the burger restaurant, right? So this I want to be the back area of the burger restaurant. So I don't want it to have any seating because we want to provide, you know, privacy for the private hotel gardens. So let's just go with that. we have something with a lot of planting. That'll. Okay. Barbecue. Right, yeah. Again, I want some nice tables and things out here for this. Okay. I think this area is cooling out for a fountain. Damn, that's not quite opposite the door, is it? That's more opposite the door, but is not in line with the actual building footprint, which is annoying, but I'm going to go with the door. I want purple flowers. That one. Ooh. It was a little large. I don't want it to be that tall. I want the trees to be slightly shorter than that. So I don't want it to be like completely covered. Fine. Hello, James. Okay, good. Right. Our private hotel garden. You want to use this brown path? I think it looks a little. And the logline path is a bit much. You know, I think I'm just going to leave it as is. Just decorate it as it is. Okay, so all gardens have to have a water feature. As far as I'm concerned, you do not have a true garden if you do not have a water feature. haven't done one of those in a while. Hmm. When you have too many decorations. How about Evo's? Actually, Evo's light lanterns. Ooh. I've had an idea. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. Yeah. That was not the thing I meant to move. You know, I think that looks fine without the squares. I'm cooking. I am cooking something here. I'm having thoughts. I really don't think there's any chance of getting water under there. Where's the edge of the map? Getting water underneath this. Oh, thank you, James. We appreciate any support. Doesn't necessarily have to be water underneath. Probably does. You know, I don't think it does. It doesn't have to be water. A bridge can cross many things. There's your philosophical Fletcherism for the day. A bridge can cross many things. A small sculpture garden and put the statues on objects and the guests could explore. Yeah, that's something I was going to... I'm just gonna... Sorry, I just wanted to save this, just footage of that there, right there, because it'll come in handy when I do this bit of the retrospective review. Jesus Christ. That's 3 times in this stream that we've had to rescue those pterosaurs from getting stuck. It really is quite shocking. Anyway, while Jurassic World Evolution 2 really tests my patience, let's get some sculpture positions set up. Okay, we're gonna have 3 sculptures here. And yes, King Giga, this one, Evolution Square, commissioned in a mod for her Japanese book. Every time I see these hadrosaurs being put in on-off walking bipedally, it bugs me. It's wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. Frontier, you got it wrong. Please put them on the correct postures for the next game, please. It's not a matter of paleontological interpretation. You're just wrong. Yes, we are putting a Utahraptor statue in Berenzon. Funny you should say that, just as I was like, oh, that Utahraptor works quite well. I do want a big one. That's what she said. Let's let's put in our biggin. I suppose, really. Megalo is just a bit small. Indominus isn't a dinosaur. Giga? Let's have the Giga. That's what she said, he mumbles. Stegoceratops isn't a dinosaur, Robert, and we don't have any hybrids in this park. Although I have decided that the next park I build is probably going to be a hybrid park, just because I haven't actually used them at all. Like, I haven't done a single build with any of the hybrids. So I feel like I kind of need to. Obviously, we were going to use the hybrids in my Egypt build for the underworld area, but obviously the Egypt build broke. So, yeah, we'll have to move this one over slightly. I'm going to build a hybrid only park facility. I'm not sure yet. I don't generally like building facilities. I find facility builds cheap. I think it's harder to make a park look like a nice tourist spot than a nice facility. Facilities are just, you know, you don't have to worry about decoration. So I need to think about like how I want to build a hybrid park, whether I want it to try and be tourist focused or facility focused, or something else entirely. Need to have a think about it. Might have to look at Evo's facility parks and try and get some inspiration. I find facility parks really difficult to build. I suppose I need to protect myself. I don't mean cheap as in I think people do it because they're lazy. I think cheap was the wrong word. I think I find them difficult to get invested in because I hate not building the park with guests in mind. I prefer to build parks for guests, not scientists. But I don't know, maybe... I mean, there is the Timeline Park that is still desperately in need of being finished. And that does have an area for a hybrid, so... Hey, maybe I just need to... bit of a think. Because I like the Stegoceratops, and I like the Ankylodophus. I don't like the Spinoceratops. I think the Spinoceratops is cheap. And as much as Evolution Square is going to hang me for this, I think the Spinoraptor is a lazy design as well. but I like the Stegoceratops, and I like the doubly cancelled straight to jail. I'm sorry, I just think it looks like a raptor with a frill on the back. I don't think it's especially good, especially thought-provoking. I think I would have liked it better if they had given it more of a Spinosaurus skin sort of design and maybe made it a little bigger than what it is now. But at the moment, I just feel like it looks like a velociraptor with a frill on the back. I think it's kind of lazy. That being said, there are far worse designs. Far, far worse. Bush has gone weird. See there, the bush is not correct. I think that's a nice little sculptured garden attachment to our hotel. Cough, musing cough. Yes, the far, far, far worse designs. Discount Rancor, definitely. Liam. Good night, James. Thank you for tuning in. No, we've still got 20 minutes to go. Plenty of time to get this area sorted out over here. Actually, considering I have Evo, are you still here? She is. So, I was watching your video earlier about the mutant, and you mentioning how in Star Trek they don't deal with, you know, microscopic life forms because that's not interesting. There have been quite a few Star Trek episodes where they do actually investigate non-humanoid life. In fact, one quite famous original series episode was that they encounter a giant single-cell space-dwelling amoeba that tries to eat the ship. Just just sharing some Star Trek knowledge with you. I do get your sentiment, though. A majority of the stuff Star Trek deals with are humanoid races, for the reason that you very clearly stated in your video. Just, I had to get the Trekkie in me out. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, the point definitely stands. They don't do it often. Most of Star Trek is very much on about the intelligent, shall we say, races. I was just doing, you know, the much required fan thing of, well, actually, as the resident Trekkie. I must. It is law. The resident Trekkie must always talk about Star Trek. I mean, incidentally, the most recent Star Trek movie they have actually just done has launched incredibly badly, and they kind of did a similar sort of thing to what they seem to be doing with Jurassic, which is kind of ignoring what the whole point of Star Trek was for this film that they've recently done, and I definitely see some similarities with what Universal are doing. You didn't go full Stuart. No. I mean, to go full Stuart, I would have to be thick, I think. And I'm not stupid. I like putting cacti in a lot of my flower beds, because I know that there would be there would be guests that would be stupid enough to try to leap into these flower beds as a shortcut. And the cacti just make sure that if they try it, they suffer. Which brings me joy. Hole in the middle. That hole is just dying out for something to plug in it. Don't! Oh, for fuck's sake, why did I say that? Don't make anything of that. It was not a Freudian. No, Evo, no, bad. That's what she said. I regret everything. Right. I think we need some good old algae slime here on the riverbank, just for that river feel. Some rocks. I mean, these will be rocks. There'll be rocks to sort of hide that. Big trees, that sort of thing. It is... It's like taking me 2 hours, and that's all I've done decoration-wise. Oh, good grief. There's still all of this to do. I need to put the benches into the... into here. You right, Spino? Oh, Goober. Wait, what? Goober? Are all these named? No, only one of them is named. I feel like we can't just name Goober and not have the others named. What shall we name our Spinos? Bailey? Oh, Bailey. Honestly, I don't see the appeal of that guy. He's not my type of man, let's just put it like that. Scotland, really? Must we? Reefed weather. Daily wanting in here on the naming of Spinosaurus 3. I feel like considering these are from Egypt, I think we need to have an Egypt name. So let's call that one Sobek. Oh. Yeah, Egypt. Ah. I've just remembered, like, Spinosaurus is like Africa, Egypt, that sort of thing. And like, I haven't used a single sort of African style decoration anywhere near here. Okay, right. Let's just put this. Let's just put down. Okay. Can we? I would like to move. Yes, there we go. Lovely. And shrink. There we are. Ah, it's got the Eye of Ra on the side, or Horus, depending on which way round it is. Let's have you. Here. We'll put some decorations on. That'll look good. Oh, just looks so weird. Shrink it down. Shrink it. These giant breast-shaped structures, some removal surgery. There we are. Twist you. Twist it. Delightful. And we need to put... Ah, we can't have this one in the same position. No, we can, kind of. We're just going to have to... Yeah. Or should we have... Should we have them here instead? Oh, bugger. I think we've just spoiled the views. Yes, ever so slightly. So these are really going to have to go in these corner pieces. In order to preserve the views. Yeah. It works there. I think that's good enough. Symmetry is overrated. That is true. Where are our big statues? I'm rewatching Stargate Atlantis, Stargate SG-1 at the moment. Suddenly reminded me of the Egypt stuff. Why do they always have to be rectangular? Does Frontier not understand that other shapes are available? Some days, I want to go to Frontier and just, not harm them, just lightly maim them and be like, squares, circles. Why does everything have to be a rectangle or a lozenge? Like, why are these lozenges or ovoid rectangles? What is their fascination with ovoid rectangles? What was the name of the captain? Kirk? Captain Kirk is from Star Trek. If you're talking about Stargate, that would be Colonel Jack O'Neill. Quite like that, actually. I think that gives good. Ambience. What time is it for me now? It's coming up to 11 in the evening because we are in Great Britain, so we are quite a few hours ahead of America, a little bit behind Evo. We do have so many squares, rectangles, and circle decorations, but no head. We don't, though. We don't have that many circles. We have fountains in circles, but we have no square fountains. We have no square-shaped planters. Proper square-shaped planters. Everything's so flat as well. And this is something I talk about in my retrospective review. But even if you look at an area that is fully decorated, like over here, it's kind of flat and kind of static. Everything's on the same sort of level. Even the taller decorative pieces, we don't have that many of them, apart from, obelisks and trees. There's nothing... There's not a good range of height and stuff in the decorations, and there are too many that are just static, that just do nothing. Also, that flipping the frame rate loss around guests. I measured it with NVIDIA's frame counting for the review, and when I zoom in and go around these areas of the park, the frame rate jumps between 24 and 60 Like, all number of manners of numbers in between 24 and 60. And if I zoom in down to the snake, it can go as low as 15. I didn't realize I need to finish decorating this area as well. Oh, there's so much decoration left to be done. And I still need to finish the hotel area and do the environmental detail over here. When do you... I think the review will be done. So, I'm about a third of the way through part 6. Part 7 won't take too long because it's literally just looking at the DLCs. So all I really need to do is... I can be a little bit lazy about getting footage for that particular part of the video. I can just use like the trailers and stuff. The reason the middle of this review is taking a long time to make is because it's like going in depth on the new features they added and looking at the animals in depth. And of course, to do that, I have to get footage of like all the little bits I'm talking about. It took me hours and hours on Tuesday and Wednesday trying to record dinosaurs doing their social animations. It took hours getting dinosaurs, waiting for them to do the social, and then recording the social animation. Even using Kyodenics' behavior mod to force them to do the behavioral animation didn't always help. It was so frustrating that they just wouldn't do what I wanted them to do. I also discovered that lagoon animals won't do the smashing themselves against the concrete wall of the lagoons unless you put down a normal animal first. Like if you just put down lagoons and put a bunch of lagoon animals in them and wait and deliberately stress them to do the smashing on the wall animation, they won't do it. They'll only do it if you put down a normal enclosure and a normal dinosaur first. I find that very peculiar. And don't even get me started on some of those lagoon smashing themselves on the wall. Like the Liplorodon one looks so demented. It's really bad. Ah, but this park is really looking nice. Like, this going back to a park I built without mods in the first couple of weeks that I had the game, and coming back and just remaking it and having our little wedding reception area here ready to go, and having our nice little Eocark area, and thinking about animal enrichment as well, putting in shelters and stuff for them, being able to build with all the new fence types. It's just it really makes a difference. Also, I still love these J-Pod viewing towers. They are the better viewing tower by far. So much nicer than the ones we have in game. It just really helps to make the park look nicer, I think. So yeah, I'm pleased with how this park is coming out. And also, obviously, taking advantage of Evo's Japanese mods for our kaiju-inspired, Jaws-inspired lagoon here. Hello, Chrono. How are you doing? Content. Nice. It is definitely looking sexy. There's still probably another 20 hours of decorating work to go into this. I mean, how as I save and go to 2.1, we're already up to 55 hours. Oh no, that was okay. What are we up to now? 57 hours of work on this park. I reckon it'll probably be up to about 70 by the time I'm fully finished with it. Which will make it one of the longest park builds I've ever built. So yeah. Don't worry, Nicholas, I mentioned that in my retrospective review. But anyway, it is 11 o'clock now. I've been going for 2 hours, so I'm going to leave it here as Fallout is waiting to hang out with me for the rest of the evening. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, especially Eva. It's always nice to see you in chat. And yeah, Berenton, also thank you for being here as our moderator. And Rob, it's always nice to see you in streams as well. And it's nice to see all of you guys. You know, we are a small YouTube channel, so we appreciate all of you coming in to spend time with us. And yeah, I will hopefully be getting that retrospective done as quickly as I can. Next week, obviously, there'll be a Fallout stream on Wednesday, my stream on Friday, and my stream on Sunday. Might not stream Jurassic World Evolution next week. Might do the Isle instead. We'll see if I can actually get in to the Isle. It's been a pain in the ass lately. But yeah, I hope the rest of you have an enjoyable rest of your Sundays, wherever you are. And stay safe. And good night.